And we have a playoff rematch as number 7 Dennis-Yarmouth visits number 2 Apponequet. And so you think the Lakers have some revenge on their minds?
Last year they ended up losing to Dennis-Yarmouth 35-27 in the semifinals of the Division 4 South. And I know it was an exciting game. I think Brendan had gone to that game. It was down in the Cape, and it was really a back and forth game. And the Lakers just came up a little bit short. And most of the players on this year's team, a lot of those seniors were on that team last year that lost to Dennis-Yarmouth. And I got to think, even though it's a tough draw, Coach Bob Lamp, was hoping to get a different team and not Dennis-Yarmouth. Those kids are going to be determined. I mean, they're going to come out and they're just going to probably take it to Dennis-Yarmouth in this game. And really, no one has had an answer for the Lakers this year. They've scored 341 points so far in their 7 games for an average of 49 points per game. I mean, the defenses have no way to stop the Lakers because they have too many options.
Right.
Chad Goucher last week against Wareham, his dad's high school team. He ended up coming out. He only threw 5 passes, but 4 of them were for touchdowns. 2 went to Troy Nanfelt. 2 went to Kevin Falaki. Matt Michael had 2 rushing touchdowns. Brendan Cooney had a touchdown run. And before
sounds kind of like the Patriots against the Bears.
Pretty much. I think it was 48-0 at the half. And trying to keep track of the starters that played in the second half, the only one I noticed that was out there was Troy Nanfelt because he kicked the extra points. So none of the starters, offensive starters played in that second half of the game besides Troy coming out to kick the extra points when the reserves were scoring against Wareham. So this is an Apponequet team that's just really clicking on all cylinders. I know year in and year out, they're always a running team. They're always known for their running backs. But Chad, it's his first year at quarterback, and he's really come into his own. He's thrown 12 touchdown passes this year, and he's provided a nice balance so that teams can't just focus on the running game. And with having Matt Michael, which he's already in the record books for breaking his brother Nate's records, he's got a couple more he's chasing down. But it's not just him; it's Troy Nanfelt as well, and Brendan Cooney. All 3 of those guys, and they're all a little different. So, teams are really having a hard time trying to stop them. But Apponequet's defense has also been impressive this year. And they're going to have their hands full against Michael Dunn. He'd been out in the 2 games that Dennis-Yarmouth lost this year. He was out of those games. He was injured. But with him in the lineup, they're undefeated. And last week in a win over Falmouth, he ended up having 358 all-purpose yards in that game, and he scored 5 touchdowns. So he's going to be a factor in this game, and it's whether or not Apponequet can first keep him off the field, and second, contain him and keep him out of the end zone. So it should be a great rematch of last year's tournament game. So
high-scoring affair, probably.
Yeah, I don't know how much defense is going to be played. So
that's all right, though. We like those kind of games, especially in the opening round of the tournament. So that'll be happening Friday at 7 at Apponequet. Dennis-Yarmouth visiting number 2 Apponequet. You can follow along with all the action on Twitter at SC_varsity, and you can talk about the game using the hashtag SCVFootball.